Hello and welcome to another episode of Bare Bones Wargaming, a show with no bells, no whistles, no frills, just a man, a camera, and his game. This episode, whoops, sorry about that, off to a bad start there. I am going to do another unboxing. I'm sorry I haven't done some playthroughs lately, but I've been kind of busy working on some projects, including my own homemade version of, what I've been calling Saipan 1944, based on the system of Tarawa 1943, which I guess really has been my most recent playthrough. So I've been working on that. Really haven't had any new games that I've received. So doing this unboxing video here, kind of more of a public service, and I'll explain what I mean here in a second. However, I will say that sometime in the near future, probably the beginning of next month, maybe the end of this month, I'm going to be spending some time compiling my list of my most anticipated war games for this year, to go ahead and share with you guys what's out there, what I've seen, just to give you a kind of lay of the land, some ideas and stuff. If you're really interested in what's coming down the pike, one of the best things to do is go onto Board Game Geek and subscribe to the War Games on Kickstarter geek list. And every time somebody posts a new item, if you subscribe like I do, it pops up and it lets you know what's happening. So that's pretty good. It's very helpful and useful. Okay, so as you guys know, those of you longtime subscribers, because I did a playthrough video of this, one of my favorite magazine games of the last 5 years was the Midway Solitaire from World War Magazine, and I forget what issue number it was. 70 maybe? I don't know. I'll be honest. 50 maybe? I don't know. No, 50 was Yukov's War. Anyway, whatever it was extremely popular. So there was discussions, rumors about Decision Games making a deluxe boxed version, and that did come to fruition. Now, I debated for a while whether I was going to pick it up or not, because I liked the system, but there were some quirky things to it. But I've enjoyed Centrifugal Offensive so much, which I've been playing recently again too, and I already did a playthrough video for that. You can look that up if you like. And I was enjoying that a lot, and I was starting to think about Midway Solitaire, because that's basically the other side of the coin. And I started to dig around now that there's been more information about the deluxe version. It was released recently. And I decided to go ahead and pick up a copy after debate, based on some things I discovered. Primarily that the rulebook's been polished up with some nice examples, which I guess we're going to find out here in a second when I open this sucker. And also, there's more counters involved beyond the base game. There are the counters that appeared in a later issue of World War Magazine, and I guess there's even some extra counters that let you go the whole way through 1942, which is cool. However, someone has mentioned conspicuously the Wasp is missing, which, yeah, that's kind of a raggy moment. It's like, why would the Wasp be missing? I don't know. Anyway, it's a little strange from the order of battle, but, we'll see. So, anyway, so that's what I'm going to do here, is kind of show you this deluxe version, because, again, I know this game has been enormously popular. It's been out of print for a while, and, excuse me, copies have been ridiculously expensive. I think I saw one recently for $200 some. So this deluxe version is a little pricey too when you throw in shipping. Well, depending, I guess, how far you live away from Decision Games. I live on the opposite coast, so it was a little more pricey in that department. So let's dive in here, and I'll show you this. Because again, I thought about it for a while, and once I saw what I heard, I liked, and I also still have comic book money to play with. I sold my comic book collection for like 5 figures. So I've got some decent game money to play with. Yeah, that's going to buy a lot of games. Alright, so without further ado, Midway Solitaire Deluxe Edition from Decision Games, designed by Joe Miranda. Of course, they changed the cover, which I think is pretty cool. I mean, the other picture was pretty cool too, but you can see here it is literally, a box game, Solitaire, mounted map. I know, some of you love your mounted maps. Man, okay. So, let's open this sucker up. As you can see, I literally have not broken the shrink wrap since it showed up on an doorstep. Oh, let's see. I guess it showed up just short of 6 o'clock this afternoon. My my 6-year-old, we were outside playing, and he saw the UPS truck come up and he knew I was waiting for a package from UPS. And of course he wanted to be able to go run down and grab it for me. He's been into delivering packages lately. So I said, all right, go ahead. Kind of, you know, pretend play kind of deal. So I said, go ahead. Grab it for Daddy. So he did. All right. So, Midway salt. Ooh. Shrink wrap's putting up a fight, isn't it? Okay. So let's take a look, see what's inside. Nice, thick, heavy box. I will say that. Sucker's sturdy. All right, what do we got? A die. Got some baggies, which I don't like the small baggies. The bigger, the older I get, the harder it is for me to manipulate with my fingers and that stuff. All right, here's the rule book. So let's take a look here at the rule book together. All right, let's see. Okay, nice. It's got nice organization there. We've got some nice pictures. We've got the red stuff that, excuse me, red print that jumps out at you. Nicely organized, nice color, very cool. Alright, the different spaces, the different counters. Oh, it looks like they put a red stripe on the back of some of them exhausted. Interesting. Okay, alright, base capacity. Talking about all that stuff. Let me slide that over a little bit more this way. Got the setup. Very cool. Sequence of play. Lots of red. Lots of things important to remember here. So that's good. Alright. I like the big black boxes. I gotta be honest. It kind of jumps out at you right away, you know? Mutual combat segment, mutual return segment, IGN morale segment. Okay, so that's nice. I'm still looking for examples, but maybe at the back. So let's just wait and see. We'll be patient. Got combat there, USN leaders, incidents. Alright. And then here you got a whole section of optional rules, additional optional counters. IJN transports, it looks like. Transport of ground units. Oh, okay, that's cool. That's something I don't think you could do in the original game. And here's another scenario. July, December of 1942, because of course the original scenario was just supposed to cover the MO and the AF operations. Oh, an example of play. Look at that, a whole example of play. Wow, I'm impressed. Dang. Color pictures. Interesting. Well, this is nice. I like this. Very cool. And then the diagram there even has the steps, like for the rules. Very neat. All right. Well, well, well. And more awards of James Brown. Okay, and then there's an article here. Now there's the Thatch Weave. Yeah. Now, actually, I'm getting ready to read John Lundstrom's The First Southwest Pacific Campaign. So that's kind of good timing with all this. Okay, so there's some nice historical notes in here, too. Oh, well, that's nice. Nice full color section of the planes. Information about each one. Very cool. I am liking that. Okay, and then, of course, outline here. Battle of the Coral Sea. And Midway, of course. Alright. Very neat. Okay. Okay, so the rulebook is definitely a huge plus. Okay, here we got the counters now. Now the counters, I like it. The counters, I have to admit, one of the best things I think Decision Games has done recently was switching over to that new printer. These new counters, those so thick and heavy, love it. I mean, wow. And then of course you have all your counters you need here. Lexington, Saratoga, Yorktown, Enterprise, Hornet, yeah, no Wasp. What? I mean, I know the Wasp was kind of the weaker one of the weakest one of the group. Well, we don't count the Langley, I guess. But, dude, where is the Wasp? I get kids' book. But where is the green sheep? Oh, there's something stuck underneath, too. Okay. Oh, here, all the actions and operations you can do on a nice player aid card. Huh. Very cool. I like it. All right. You know, this kind of system, the Red Dragon Rising system, I felt like stumbled a little bit with like the Norway game. Excuse me, the Central Pacific campaign game. I thought they both stumbled there very badly. But it has kind of bounced back, not only with the Midway Solitaire, but especially with Centrifugal Offensive. I think they really, really got things straightened out. So now it's extremely playable and very cool. And last but not least, for some of you, of course, this is the end-all be-all, the piece de resistance, the mounted, yes, I used the M word, mounted map, if I can get it out of the plastic. Alright, so let's see. Whoops, a little bit of trouble there. Alright, let's take a look at the map together. Okay, wow. Very nice. Wow, very nice indeed. Again, the production value on this is ridiculously good. Okay. There you go. I mean, it's not a very big space that you're playing with because of the way they have it set up. It's a point-to-point map. You know, again, I mean, like the way the magazine games usually are. You know, you've got always your spaces for information and charts and such. So they kind of enhanced the map, but didn't really change it much, to be honest. Okay, because you still got all your different points here on your way to like Wake Island or Bowls down here. There's the Solomons, New Cal, you know, Midway, the Aleutians, all that stuff. You got your holding boxes for your carrier air groups, the strike forces, all that stuff. And then, of course, over here you have the same thing for the U.S. So, again, they took the map and pretty much, like I said, they pretty much kept it the same, but they also enhanced some things. Like this sequence of play, I don't think is on the magazine one. I don't think this battle display is either, to be honest. So, all right. Not bad. I mean, again, it's a strategic game, so you don't exactly need the biggest map in the world whenever it's point to point. So, all right, so far I like what I see. So I'm happy that I took my gamble on this. And we'll see how it plays here once I get a chance to reacquaint myself with it. Because it's been a little while since I've played Midway Solitaire. But I've been on a Pacific Theater run here for almost 2 months now. I started toward the end of December. And I'm just going and going and going. I'll be working on some other projects here in the near future too. Working on a carrier game, updating it. Someone approached me, a publisher approached me about helping to develop a carrier game from the 80s that has some interesting mechanics that they want to kind of update and bring into the new millennium, if you will. So I'm going to be working on that too here over the next, whatever, month, couple months, whatever it takes and stuff. So I'm looking forward to that. That'll be kind of a cool thing to do too. All right. So there you go. There is, if you're thinking about this, because you were thinking about the magazine game and it was too expensive, well, there you go. That's what's inside the box of Midway Solitaire from Decision Games. And like I said, so far I'm very pleased with what I see. So I'll be looking forward to giving this a go and seeing how well, see what kind of revision to the rules and changes and stuff that have been made that will help enhance play. And again, that extended example of play is nice to have there too as well. So, okay. All right, so there you have it. That's what's inside the box. And again, I'm hoping to, in the next week or so, sit down at the computer and there's a geek list, another geek list, on Board Game Geek of what's your most anticipated war games for this year. There's a couple already I know off the top of my head. I think a couple are coming out soon, so I'm going to try and get that list done sometime in the near future. It may not be in any kind of priority either, just, choosing maybe 10, 15, whatever. My most anticipated games for this year, and sharing whatever I can with you. It'll probably be mostly on my phone, of course, with pictures from Board Game Geek. So, more than likely, that's how I'll do that. So, alright, so there you go. That's what's inside the box. If you've been thinking about picking this up, now that it's available for a reasonable price, compared to out-of-print prices for the magazine version. Alright, as always, this is Tim Korchnoy from Bare Bones Wargaming, saying thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Pretty sure that I'll see you next time with my most anticipated war games list. I did, just a little sidelight very quickly before I go, I did track down one of my, I don't know if we call it Holy Grail, but one of my games that I've been thinking about buying for the longest time. Another one that uses the Red Dragon Rising system, strategic game, Mare Nostrum, which appeared in World of War magazine. And again, the prices of that thing have been quite ridiculous too, because it's been out of print for quite a while with no reprint in sight by the looks of things. But again, selling my comic book collection has given me some disposable cash to play around with, to reinvest, if you will, in games. So I did pick that up, and I'm looking forward to that arriving here later this week. Alright, so that's what's all on the horizon here, coming from Bare Bones Wargaming headquarters. Alright, as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.